Hello and welcome to episode 40 of the Real Serious Podcast. And it's just a Jack and Hunter episode. No Charles today. He is a very busy banker man. And so we have to, get him when we can. But Jack and I are here to, tide you over till you get Charles next week. So what's up, man? How are
Exactly.
you?
It's a shame. It's a
It
shame.
is. It is. It's a big shame.
You'll,
How you been,
he'll,
though?
he'll be missed this week. Dude, it's been good. This weekend was kind of unfortunate with the, some movies coming out that I wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
It was also the same time as fall break, so I had some friends who we went to Nashville for the weekend, which was
Nice.
a blast. Had a really good time. But
You ever been to
unfortunately, did
Nashville
not
before?
get to watch
Was
the
that the
movie.
first time?
Yes, I
Okay.
love Nashville. So,
Okay. Awesome.
I'd gone a couple other times, but it was a lot of fun. Just kind of running around with them. And I got back earlier today. I actually missed the Colts game, but I was listening.
Good win, though.
Kind of keeping up to it. Yeah.
What do you mean? All right, this is the one I wanted to ask you, and I'm bummed that Charles isn't here to give opinions, but Joe Flacco's got to be the guy, right? Like, you got to stick with Flacco.
I know. I mean, look, I get it. Like, Flacco, at the same time, it's the Titans. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna.
I'm with you.
Like, Flacco's looked good. But
I'm with you.
I'm more worried about Richardson staying healthy. I think
he was third on the roster today, I saw.
Yeah, and I think that was just more of a precautionary measure. At least that's how I interpreted it. It was more or less like they didn't think that he was healthy enough to play. So he was more or less just they had him geared up, just in case some freak scenario happened where Ellinger and Flacco go down. So then he would need to pop in. But I think he'll be back next week. That's how I feel, because I'm I love Joe Flacco is fun to watch. He makes games interesting, but I don't know. I'm just so tired of watching old quarterbacks play.
Yeah, but if they're good,
if we're good, we lost to the Jaguars last week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I wouldn't blame Flacco for that one.
Yeah, no. We got our defense has a ton of problems. Our defense needs to get fixed. Our defensive coordinator needs to get fired. There's a lot of other things that need to be fixed. The offense is especially Jonathan Taylor being out. I think they did the best they could today. It's nice to see Josh Downs getting, and he's been amazing. I think he's been the best thing about having Flacco, just because Flacco has been able to get him some catches, get him some yards, and get him into the offense, especially if they're not playing for the first couple of weeks. But
yeah, no,
I don't know. I like Flacco, and I think he's he makes games fun.
He's a great intermediary, I guess, for your play. If you're gonna have a guy fill that role right now, that's the guy you want. You want Joe Flacco.
No, exactly. But I'm just so tired of always looking for who's the next guy that's gonna.
I know. I'm with you.
And obviously, if I'd rather just let Richardson have his season, see where it goes. If he can progress, continue to get better. If it doesn't look like that, over the offseason, see how he plays, and then just kind of go from there.
Mm-hmm.
For me personally, my expectations for the Colts this year are not sky high. Would I love them to win games and go to the playoffs? Of course.
Yeah,
but long term, I just I'm Phillip Rivers. Honestly, I think my favorite season over the past 5 years was probably the Phillip Rivers season,
which was fun. It was fun.
Which was fun. But
Joe Flacco brings you fun.
I have to name you Phillip Rivers, Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah. I get you.
Sam Ellinger, Carson Wentz, now Joe Flacco, Anthony Richardson. Is just it's a mess.
I get it.
But enough about the Colts, man.
Yeah, Hoosiers are on a bye. Hoosiers on a bye week, so I just said the Lions. Listen, I was so excited for today's game. Okay, it's been a decade since we beat the Cowboys. We're going in. We're feeling good. They have a lot of injuries. It's all right, let's make a statement today. Offense did. The defense did. And then Hutchinson getting hurt. Just it takes the wind out of the win. I'm excited we won, and I'm excited we looked so dominant, and the offense looked incredible. But you're just all you're thinking is, oh my God, he's done. He's done for the year easily. So I hope they maybe make Max Crosby a call. He's a Detroit guy. He said he wants to come to Detroit. He's clearly not happy with the Raiders. So maybe.
I don't know who would be, man. I don't know who would be.
Well, even tonight's game, there was a clip of him from tonight's game, like pushing his defensive coordinator.
Really?
So he's annoyed with the Raiders. So we'll see what the front office decides to do. But it's just like, it was like such a sweet win where you're just dominant from front to end, and it's just like the wind out of your sails. So
plus, it's
Cowboys are bad.
The Cowboys are bad.
Also, it was Jerry Jones' birthday, so this was a little extra cherry on top of the cake.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
After watching this game, though, I'm not excited to play you guys just because your offense, because you can pass the ball and run the ball so well, and our run defense sucks. And then it looked like we made Will Levis even look pretty good today, which if we can make Will Levis look pretty good, Jared Goff is going to look like prime time Peyton Manning out there.
That's my thought is like if with Hutch gone, like I think it's just going to be, can we score more points than we let up? Like that's just what it feels like it's going to be. It's just going to be we have to score more points than we give up.
Yeah.
Next week we'll find out. Next week we have the Vikings in Minnesota. So, all right, enough sports though. This is a movie podcast. Come on. All right, what did we watch this week? I'll let you go first.
It's a great question.
Don't pull Charles on me.
I watched Penguin. I made sure to watch the new episode.
Okay.
I liked it. But I wasn't able to watch any movies this week. It was a pretty busy week, kind of gearing up for the weekend. Still a lot of moving parts going on. Still trying to finish some things up this weekend just to make up for being gone. But yeah, unfortunately, it was a little slow of a week for me. It was kind of like like the meme with like Squidward. He's looking outside the window.
Oh, do you see SpongeBob Patrick playing?
Yeah, that's me, man. This weekend, like I had a great time this weekend, but then seeing all the new movies that came out. Honestly, I'd say there's a decent amount that came out this weekend. You know? So
good stuff.
Yeah. What about you?
I got 3 this week. So 2 shows and then 3. So I have Agatha, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Penguin, which we'll talk about before we talk about Saturday. Well, at least I talk about Saturday night. Nightmare on Elm Street. I rewatched this week, the original, 1984. Gave it 4 stars. Got me back into spooky season. Very happy about that. Watched Saturday Night, which I'll talk about later on. And then I saw Superman, the Christopher Reeve story, which was incredible. I gave it 5 stars. One of the best documentaries I've seen in years. Cried like a little baby watching it. I mean, just so sad.
Yeah.
But like a really, really incredible story. And also like, man, it's incredible that the way he talked about himself before the accident and then the man he became after the accident is very interesting. Like I don't really want to spoil anything, which obviously it's not spoilers.
Yeah.
It's real life. It happened, but like I learned a lot. So I think like once it comes on Max, you should probably watch it. And I think anyone should really watch it because it is very interesting and also like very, very moving. I really recommend it.
Yeah. I mean, I remember watching the trailer in theaters and that just gave me goosebumps. So
yeah, no, it was really, it was really, really something.
I'm sure it was fantastic.
It was. I really enjoyed it. All right, let's get into news. Spider-Man, who we talk about every single week because he is the best. All right, we talked about the new director. Now we got some more rumors, quoting rumors here, so take this with a grain of salt. Allegedly, Spider-Man 4 will have multiple symbiotes in it. Might have Toby and Andrew in it again. And apparently Robert Downey Jr. will be shown here first as Dr. Doom. Let me tell you, no thank you. I don't want it. No. You ended 3 with him being small scale. He's poor. He's back to being Spider-Man. Keep him as Spider-Man.
Maybe just have like Spider-Man by himself, like on an island, like can he save himself?
Yeah.
Type of like he doesn't need a billion.
Just have him in New York. I just want him in New York doing Spider-Man things in New York. Have him worry about school. Have him worry about paying his bills. And then at the end of the movie, if you want to do a post-credit scene where, I don't know, Andrew shows up and is like, the incursions are coming. We have to fight Secret Wars. Sure, go ahead, do that. But for the runtime of the movie, just give me Spider-Man doing Spider-Man things. It's all I really want.
Yeah.
He hasn't had a chance to do it.
Not to say like Far From Home is not like Spider-Man running around New York, but I think they executed the post-credit scene pretty well for that movie.
I would agree.
How they basically, I mean, I remember they like the ending of that, and then Sony was potentially not going to make another Spider-Man movie, or Marvel was not going to make another Spider-Man movie with Marvel.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
All that drama.
All that drama that happened. I was like, dude, I want to know what happened. Like, that's never happened before. Where like everyone knows, who he is, and I was like, I'm excited for this. Like, I think the story was its own, but then it also brought anticipation for something to come.
I'm with you. My only issue with it was he wasn't in New York, which, look, I get you want to change the setting, do something different. That's fine.
Yeah.
He should have been in New York at least more so than he was. And my other issue with it is he was given a lot in that movie. Mm-hmm. And I think the whole point was Spider-Man as a character, which he learned it by the end. And I think that was the thing that my issue with the Tom Holland trilogy that was rectified by the third one is that he was learning to become Spider-Man the whole time. But Spider-Man's whole thing is responsibility. And when given the responsibility by Tony Stark, he turned it over kind of immediately, which is a choice a kid would make all day long. But that's not the choice Spider-Man would make. And that was my issue with it. But then he learned, I guess, the lesson that you shouldn't do that, which made him become a better man as he went forward. But I was just like, I don't know. I still like that movie. I just have an issue with it from that standpoint.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'd be weird to go in that direction with the whole, like, I don't know, the Robert Downey Jr. stuff. It's like, the more I sit on it, it feels weird. Like, in the moment, I think it was like a cool piece of news. And I think, especially like as a lifelong, like, Marvel fan, it was like pretty neat. But I think I think I get more and more worried of how it's like actually going to play out. And especially with how, like, potentially, like, if they want to do their, a standalone, like, Toby movie, like, go for it. Like, I'm fine with that. Just don't, like, there's no reason for it to be like a cameo fest. Like, Deadpool,
it's
Wolverine.
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Spider-Man can handle himself.
Yeah.
He doesn't need all these other people to help him with a box office. It's Spider-Man.
Yeah. And I haven't seen the third one. I mean, I saw it in theaters like 4 times when the third one came out.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it since. But like, from that movie, I feel like if they were just to like flip it immediately and bring everyone back, like everything they did in that third movie would just be undone and they would just be screwing everything up.
I know. I'm convinced in the first 20 minutes of this next movie, they're going to just undo a lot of it. So we'll see. All right.
But the rumors.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Thank God. Yeah, thank God.
All right. I'm thinking we just stick with the comic book stuff first. Sure. In better news, Lanterns has found its Jon Stewart with Aaron Pierre. I don't know. I'll learn his name. But he starred in Rebel Ridge, which I watched a couple weeks ago and was telling you guys about and thought it was really quite good. So yeah, he's going to be Jon Stewart, and it seems like he will be the main Green Lantern going forward. So he'll be the one that interacts with David Cornsweet, Superman, and whoever the Batman will be, and Wonder Woman, and all those people. He'll be in the Justice League. Pretty awesome, I think. I think he was great in Rebel Ridge. I think this is a really good casting. So I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see Green Lantern. We haven't got him in so long.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think what caught me was I remember just seeing the image of like his like face when he got casted, and I'm like, I feel like Green Lantern would have some like eyes like that. Like
his eyes are crazy.
Like, it's like they're like magical, dude. Like it's crazy.
Yes. I'm looking up right now because I want to see him.
Like I feel like in the movies, there's people like they have the eyes that'll like hypnotize you or something, and I'm like,
yeah, he's got those eyes.
He's got those, man.
Because usually I feel like, I don't know, I've seen it before where the Green Lantern eyes like lit up green. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh, really? That'd be dope.
Yeah, like in the animated series, the pupils would be green.
See, I don't know that about Green Lantern. I'm like excited because I feel like this, like they announced that this was happening and they moved on it fast. They made sure that they got what they needed, and it's like, boom, we're moving quick, but like because I feel like DC, they're just like they'd tease something, and then it would never happen. So just to see that they're actually like making good on promises now is.
Let me do this real fast. Let me see. New York Comic Con. Okay, so New York Comic Con is the 17th through the 20th. So by next episode, we will learn about what DC's plan is, because DC will be going to New York Comic Con and kind of doing like a panel, I guess. I don't know what they're going to talk about. Probably just Superman, if I'm being honest, but I wouldn't be shocked if some other characters or some people they talked about. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Wonder if I can see when it is. Oh, well, I'll look it up later. Next piece of news, which you're very excited about. Christopher Nolan. Next movie at Universal with IMAX, summer 2026, with Matt Damon apparently starring in it. Will release July 17th, 2026. Come on. This is right up your alley.
I'm so in, man. I mean, yeah. I remember like the first Nolan movie I had to see in theaters was like Oppenheimer. So like that was like a super awesome experience. Just because like literally when I first like started getting into movies, like some of my friends, you know, they gave me like La La Land. They gave me a bunch of other movies, but I feel like the Nolan movies I enjoyed the most personally, at least like the plot and the structure. But no, I'm just excited to like feel like I'm actively engaged like with his like career, if that makes sense, you know, because like
I know I'm with you,
because it's like to witness it like right now. So like for example, like Tarantino, like I'm excited. Like I know Tarantino was obviously supposed to have what was it, the movie critic?
Yeah. Yep.
But like that kind of got dumped. But like I'm gonna be super excited for whatever he drops because I've never gotten to see any of his movies in theaters. So it's like to be able to like go see, you know, one of those directors that you've like just loved all of their movies and to like see their movies in the theaters just hits different. And then Matt Damon too, which he's been in some questionable stuff recently, but I'm sure that Christopher Nolan will not continue will not continue that streak, hopefully.
I sure hope so. So I'm with you. I think it's fun to, I guess, experience a director in real time. So I feel like a lot of times, especially, you know, we have to go back and revisit the filmography as it's happening versus being in it. Like you go back and you watch Spielberg, like Spielberg happened. He's still happening, but like the majority and the best ones happened. Same with Scorsese. Even Tarantino to an extent, like was really before us. Yes, he has had a few, you know, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, like so great, but I still think the majority of it's before. Like this, we're in it. We're living it. I think Greta Gerwig is similar to that. Jordan Peele definitely in that group.
100%.
And so it's kind of cool to have people like that we're living in, which I like. So
yeah, I like how they're keeping the plot under wraps, at least for now.
Yeah, I think they will for a while.
And I'm just excited because like I'm sure whatever he's gonna do, it's gonna be fairly original. Like it's not gonna be like, not to say that I'm tired of like the, you know, or you know what, I kind of am tired of like the sequels and stuff. It's just like I'm always down to just see something that's like he comes up with pretty original stuff. So
well, I remember too,
pretty fun to enjoy.
The first teaser for Oppenheimer released with Nope the summer prior, so we might see a teaser for this movie next summer if he does something similar. Like we might, whatever the next Universal thing is next summer, we might see a teaser, which is pretty awesome. But this did want me to bring up the 2026 movie schedule.
Slate.
Yes, I want to bring up the slate. So I'm just going to start in April, maybe the beginning of the summer movie season. Let's just say April. Mario Brothers 2. Then we move on to May. Avengers Doomsday. Spielberg, the new Spielberg movie, and Mandalorian and Grogu, all in May. Going to June, Masters of the Universe, a new Daniels movie, who were Everything Everywhere All at Once. Toy Story 5 and Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. Going to July, Shrek 5, Moana live action, Christopher Nolan. Going to October, Batman Part 2, Jordan Peele, TMNT Mutant Mayhem 2. November, Marvel Studios, Hunger Games, Sunrise of the Reaping. And then in December, we have both a Star Wars and Denis Villeneuve movie releasing on the same day. 2026. We got to make it then. We got to make it to 2026 because that sounds awesome. That sounds pretty awesome.
I mean, to have all of those in like the same year, like it's like a good mix. It's got like Peele, you know, Daniels, like every single, like there's so many different people that are just like involved in that year.
Yes.
Not to say that there's some years that are a little dry. Like, in my opinion, I feel like this year's been a little bit slower than some of the ones I remember in the past.
No,
but
I'm with you.
It's still been a good year. But like, and that's just like the big projects we know about. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't even include some of the smaller projects that are, could end up being some of the best of the year. So I think that's awesome.
They were saying that this was the summer and year that was kind of mainly affected by the writer's strike, because it usually takes a couple of years to kind of kick in.
Yeah.
So this, I think, was the year that was really affected by the writer's strike. So we should be kind of good moving forward. All right. Do I want to do good things or bad? Let's do good things. I'm gonna leave the bad things for the end because I have a complaint. I have a complaint. I'm gonna leave for the end. All right. Wild Robot. We talked about it last week, 2 weeks ago, last week, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Wild Robot getting a sequel. It's done well, so they're making another one. That's kind of it. I don't know. Didn't really excite me all that much, but I'm ready for it.
It's done well at the box office, right? I mean, obviously, I'm sure it has. I mean, especially it's doing better than something we'll talk about later.
Yeah, let's just talk about that right now. Joker 2 had the worst second weekend for a comic movie ever. Only going to gross $7 million this weekend. It is looking at a $51 million run so far in domestically. It is going to lose to Terrifier 3 at the box office, which has hit an $18.3 million opening weekend, which is honestly insane for Terrifier 3, which, if you don't know what Terrifier is, it's just pure blood and guts and gore. So yeah, that's really impressive. Big whiff on Joker 2. I'm shocked. Like, I liked it. I'm in the minority on that. I know I'm in the minority on that. But I thought people would go see it, and this is just this is the first one made $1 billion. $1 billion.
No, I know. And it had the highest grossing R-rated movie until this summer, right?
Yes, yeah. And it's at 165 worldwide right now. I don't know what the budget is. Let's see. I bet it's a lot.
Dude, the marketing for 200 that alone was
so budget's insane. 200. Let's say the marketing is another. Let's be generous and say 150. You're looking at 350. So to break even, you probably have to hit 400 to 500 million. It's only at 165 2 weekends in. Yikes. Yep, not good.
Yeah. I mean, even what you were talking about last week, I didn't think it was great, but did I think it's still, I don't know. I mean, I think it is weird because I agree that like it's like a cult. Like, it's like we just like everyone say as many bad things as you possibly can about this movie. Like, it's so funny because it's like Madam Web, where it's like very dry. There's no, like, in my opinion, there was no creativity put in that movie. I feel like it was so cut and paste, and they were just like, oh, let's just throw another movie out with a bunch of attractive people, which, movies with attractive people works, like the Glenn Powell, Sydney Sweeney movie, like, people will go see that, but it's not necessarily the point.
Those people are me. Those people are me.
Sorry. But like Madam Web, like I felt like it was just so cut and dry, and like I get it. It's memes, like they're like the memes online, like people, it's funny to make jokes, but like, I genuinely don't think people are making as many
people
comments
are like
about
cheering that this movie is doing bad.
Yeah. Like, it's honestly so weird because I feel like people are so happy to see this movie do so bad. And I think it's really odd, especially from like, I'll go on TikTok and I'll see people that are like really involved with like the like movie community that are going to like private screenings that, have these massive like groups of friends that are all influencers as well. And it's all just like, hey guys, we're going to sit together and we're just going to shit talk Joker 2 for an hour.
Yeah, I know. It's what it feels like.
Like, I thought that there was like some creative choices in that movie. Did I love it? No. But like, I don't think it deserves as much hate as it's receiving. So I kind of feel bad for what's going on with this movie because I don't think I've ever seen in my lifetime a movie be hated on as much as this.
I mean, like literal cheers for it to fail. I just don't get it. But yeah, that was Joker 2. Karate Kid. Did you ever watch Cobra Kai?
No.
Neither did
I know what it is, though.
Yeah, I was never a Cobra Kai person. I really only watched the original Karate Kid and then the newer one with Jaden Smith. I like those
Yeah.
two.
Yeah.
But Karate Kid Legends is going to be the new movie coming out May 28th, 2025. It is a new Karate Kid that kind of brings together, my understanding, the Jaden Smith movie and then the original Karate Kid. So Jackie Chan, who was Mr. Han in the Jaden Smith one, is going to team up with Daniel LaRusso and train a new Karate Kid. I don't know if it's connected to Cobra Kai or what's going on. I don't know. There's like a whole shared cinematic universe of Karate Kid. Did not know all that. I was looking it up for this talking point. But yeah, new Karate Kid. I guess I'm kind of I'm in. I guess.
Yeah, I remember they sent out a casting call about 6 months ago. They were trying to find the next Karate Kid, and basically they were just like, if you want to send an audition, just send it to this email or something. And I'm like, that is crazy. And then I looked at the requirements, and I'm like, I am not the Karate Kid. I will not
above
be the
age
Karate
of 12.
Kid.
Yeah, unfortunately, they needed a 12-year-old, and we're too old.
Could be the Karate Man, or the Karate young adult,
the Karate guy,
but not the Karate Kid. Well, it was funny when you said, like, have you seen, like, I don't know why I always think of this, but it's like, the Karate Kid, obviously, very big movie. Like, I feel like for our parents, like, that's something they watch. Like, it was like
I know. I feel
massive,
like it missed
culture.
us. I feel like it missed us perfectly because it was like the group of people after us who were younger watched Cobra Kai, and then like the group above us had Karate Kid itself, and we only had the Jaden Smith movie for like a little bit.
We had Kicking It. That's what we had.
Yeah, Kicking It was great.
That's what I'm saying.
It was great.
Like, that's what we had. That's like the cool, like, karate show that we had that we enjoyed.
And it was cool and awesome.
It was cool and awesome.
Tell me what falafel was.
Falafel Phil the goat, man.
Yeah, the goat. Exactly.
No, but that's what I always think of whenever I hear the Karate Kid. For some reason, I always see like Jason Earl, like, in the
teaching.
white robe, like just like a 30-year-old man, like teaching these kids karate. So
what was their?
I love it.
Wasn't like Johnny something's dojo? What was it?
Bobby Wasabi.
Bobby Wasabi. Yeah.
Yes.
Bobby Wasabi's dojo. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Man.
No, it was good.
So yeah, I'm afraid to revisit a show like that because I feel like I won't like it now, and it's like maybe I should just live with the memory of it.
Yeah, maybe like I think it's cool that it's like all on Disney Plus because
I know that's what I'm thinking. I feel like it's
like
pretty easy to watch. I'm afraid to. I feel like if I jump back in, I might.
Yeah, I was like, maybe like one day when I have kids or something.
Yeah, then I'll go back.
Trying to find something, maybe just like be like, yeah, this was Falafel Phil. Yeah, that Falafel Phil versus Bobby Wasabi, one of the greatest showdowns of all time.
Man, sounds good. All right, Henry Cavill. I think Henry Cavill we're big fans, I would say, is a podcast. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Henry Cavill has joined the Voltron movie, which we were talking about last week. So he's going to be in Voltron. Might be the star, which sounds pretty awesome. I don't know. I just feel like he needs a win, and I feel like Voltron might be a good win for him.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed it is, I hope.
I'm just confirming the Voltron movie. That's
the robot that comes together.
Remember I'm blanking on this.
So remember we were like, is it Power Rangers, but it's not Power Rangers because it's like Voltron. The robots like come together to make a big robot.
Yeah.
Also, there's a big rumor he's going to be in the MCU very soon as like not a Wolverine. So yeah. I guess maybe we'll see that soon also. But yeah, Henry Cavill hopefully getting a new franchise. I don't know. I just feel like he needs a win. I just really like the guy. I hope he gets a win because he needs it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was our Voltron. We know very little. Maybe I should watch a Voltron YouTube video or something.
Yeah, maybe I should too.
Okay, here's my complaint. Last piece of news, complaint of the week. Wicked. I am very annoyed by Wicked. It was released today, or not today, a couple days ago, that there are only 11 songs in Wicked Part 1. There are 21 in the show. and there is 11 in this movie. It's a 3-hour movie. Where are the songs? It's a musical. What?
So I think I finally did some digging, especially
That's
after
like
releasing.
It's a song every 20 minutes, basically.
They released all the merch. They released all the everything. So I was able to. I finally got some more details on this movie. First off, I love the marketing that they're doing. I think they're putting the brand on literally everything you possibly could think of.
I did see that also. If you went to go see the new Lego movie, which is the Piece by Piece, they did a trailer before it for Wicked that was in Lego as like a special trailer.
Really?
Yeah, that's pretty
cool.
Okay,
that's cool. Like I feel like
cool.
the way they've done a lot of this is like super neat. I mean, it's literally just like luggages, like pink and green, like it just like Stanley Cups, pink and green. Like I swear, I don't know if you've seen all of this, but I swear it's been all over my feed. Probably because I like everything Wicked that pops up on my feed. Have you seen any of this?
What is it, like? What specifically? Like the stuff they make for it?
I mean, literally just the collaborations they're doing with. I swear,
I mean, they have like it seems like. I was at the grocery store and on the cookies, like the bags of cookies, it was Wicked. They're everywhere.
Yes, it's like I swear, it's like
it had the second biggest pre-sale on the first day for Fandango besides Deadpool Wolverine. So it's gonna be a big movie.
Yeah,
I just don't get how there's gonna be one every 20 minutes. It's like, what are they doing?
I will say they leaked some of the footage for Fiyero.
What is Fiyero?
The love interest, I guess, of the movie.
Okay.
Of one of his songs, and it sounds really good. So like
I'm sure it will be.
I mean, the music I'm very excited, but after digging a little bit deeper, I think what's gonna happen is the 2 hours and 40 minutes is basically gonna take us to intermission.
But it's a 2-hour 40-minute musical.
I know.
So how are they doubling it?
So what I think they're doing is they're adding some more more dialogue, more.
I don't want it.
Like
get
us a little bit deeper into the world of Oz. So honestly,
thank you.
I'm excited for it. I mean, I love Wicked, so I'm all for if they want to add some more stuff. That's great. I think it is a little because
it'd be a hater on this movie forever until I see it.
I saw. So the book is completely different from the musical.
Okay.
There's a lot of big differences between the book and the musical. So the musical is like, apparently there's not this like big love triangle. Apparently there's not a bunch of big plot points that like happen in the musical don't happen in the book.
Okay.
So from what it sounds like, Wicked, they're not the same thing. So if Wicked, the movie, just I think it will be the same thing as the play, but I think it will just give us more exposure to the characters. Because I think if they were to give us like an hour and like 20-minute, like, I don't know, like me personally, I think for a movie, like an hour and 20 minutes, like if I really want to like get engaged and like locked into these characters, like for me, like being there in the theater, like I'm locked in. Like I am pumped. Like everything that's going on, like the set, like literally just looking all over the set, the flying monkeys, like everything they have to add as to where I'm not sure like an hour and 20-minute movie would be enough to. I know it doesn't need to be 3 hours, but
no, it does not.
But apparently the demand is there, so
I guess so.
I mean, especially, if they're selling tickets now, I would only think that it's gonna. They're only gonna sell more from here, you know.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I'm just not super into this one. I won't lie to you.
I know, and that's okay.
Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Maybe I saw the popcorn bucket.
Maybe I'll be proven wrong, and I'll be like, "Oh my god, they did it! They actually did it! They made me a Wicked head."
I am worried it might drag a little bit, especially with that massive runtime. But Ariana Grande was on SNL last night, and
yeah, she was good. She was good.
I watched some of the clips. They were pretty
funny. Was good.
I had a good time, so I'm like almost at an all-time high for this movie. So I'm like kind of ready for it to come out.
No, I'm going to bring you down. I'm going to bring you back down to my level because it's not good.
You're gonna be a Joker 2 hater for Wicked.
I am. It's not even that I don't think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be good. I just am so like amazed by this runtime and the music choice. Sure. I just think it's crazy. Yeah. All right. It's time. It's our time for our weekly recap of Agatha All Along, baby. All right. Let me pull up this episode name because I do not know it off the top of my head.
I got a couple clips on TikTok. So.
Oh, all right. So you have any questions about it before I go into it? Maybe after.
Yeah. Go into it. I can ask some questions.
So after. Episode 5, Darkest Hour / Wake Thy Power. I don't know why they're doing this naming scheme. They do like 2 names for every episode. So basically, these evil witches are also on the road, and they are mad at Agatha for reasons. I'm pretty sure the main reason is because Agatha, I think, stole their power like at one point. That's kind of what they're hinting at. I can't tell. I think it's the mother of Agatha who is a part of this group. But anyway, they're running away from them and they get into the next trial. So the next escape room. And this one's 80s themed. It's very Stranger Things vibes. And they have to play a Ouija board to like get through the trial. And Agatha becomes possessed by her mother and then kind of goes a little crazy and kills one of the people on the team, Alice. So Alice is now gone off the show. And now there's a big turmoil in the group. And you're like, that was a little out there. That was a little crazy. And then Teen, who has been with them the whole time, who everyone has known as Wiccan the entire time the show's been on, reveals his powers and sends Agatha along with Jennifer and Lilia into these like mud pits, and they sink to the bottom of the mud pits, and you don't know what's going to happen. And that's kind of the cliffhanger. So now he has his powers. He is fully Wiccan, and you don't know what happened to Agatha and the gang. So that was the kind of cliffhanger they left off on. Everyone thought it was like the greatest cliffhanger ever. I don't know. Not really for me. But I think the show is definitely the definition of it's fine. So continues to stick with that it's fine category.
Yeah, I got the ending because I kind of heard some stuff about it. So I was like, all right, I want to see what this is all about.
What the fuss
and
is
I guess,
all about?
Like, yeah, I wanted that. But like, this wasn't a surprise that was.
No, right? That's why I was like, confused. Everyone was like, right? Oh my God, what a cliffhanger. I was like, dude, we all knew this was happening.
Okay. I mean, I guess the biggest cliffhanger would be like what happened to Agatha.
Yeah, I thought that was the bigger cliffhanger than like him becoming Wiccan.
Because from my understanding, like obviously you've kind of updated me about the trials and stuff, but in full clarity, I couldn't exactly tell you like what they're all about, you know? But like
they're like each of them tests one person in the group specifically.
Yeah.
This was Agatha's trial.
But like seeing him send her into the mud, I was kind of like, dang, so they like killed her off?
Yeah, I think they definitely go somewhere else. So I think that
so that's how the trial works. It's not like some people like you actually can die as we're like this. You think she's just sent someone because like she got up in it.
Because it would be weird if the whole show just ended. Like I guess not ended, but like Agatha and everyone else is gone. It's just Wiccan for 4 more episodes. So
it'd be like Wiccan all along.
Yeah, it was actually Wiccan all along. That's the new twist, is it was Wiccan all along.
But in the video I watched, it was like she's like getting up all in his face, and then she's like, you know, you're just like your mother.
Yeah, so that was a big call out.
So is she like not herself? Or was she like also being possessed by somebody? Because like from the clips I've seen of the show,
so they were mad. So they were mad at Agatha because Agatha got possessed by the mom, and then Agatha's whole thing is that she doesn't have her powers, or like it's not at the level she needs it to be. So she has to like absorb the power of other witches, but she can only do that if the witch is using her powers on Agatha. So then when Agatha was like in the possessed, the other lady used her powers to try to help her, and then that was when Agatha kind of took it. But she was like, "Oh, I didn't mean to. Like, I can't control it. It just happens." So they're all mad at her for that. And then I guess that's when like Teen got in her face and was all, "Whoa, you can't do this. You can't do this." Blah blah blah. And then she that kind of was like, oh, well, you're just like your mom. And then that's when he got mad and became Wiccan, I guess, for the first time.
Yeah.
So
crazy stuff. It's like
I don't know.
I'm just like, what happened to Wanda, man? It's like, where's the Scarlet Witch? What's she up to?
I know, where's she at? I would like
she just like
I'd like her
sitting
on the
in the
show,
bottom
please.
of the pile. Yeah.
Because I think she was the dead body in the first episode, but I don't know. We'll have to see.
Okay. Yeah.
I think this is a show where it's going to be like, I appreciate it more when it ends, because it's like, now I got it all, versus week to week. It's going to be like, oh, like looking back, it was better than it was week to week.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, from the way you've explained it, like, doesn't sound like the greatest show I've ever heard, but
it's very,
I think from a standpoint of like the content they've created, I think for the audience that they made it for, I think it's been a success.
Yeah, I would say so.
I mean, obviously, I think there's a lot of people like in the Marvel fan base that might be like, this isn't my cup of tea, but there's clearly a massive audience out there for, this show. So it's done better. Like when they first said they were doing an Agatha movie, I thought it was going to be like quite possibly the goofiest thing ever. But
yeah,
a lot of people are locked in. So I'm just kind of happy to see that it's doing at least like well with other people too.
Yeah. So that is Agatha. Onto a much better show. Let's talk Penguin episode 3. So episode 4,
baby.
Episode 4 for us will air in about 50 minutes. So episode 3, Bliss. Bliss was very good. This was the episode that was mainly about Vic, his backstory, and kind of his choices he's made along the way. Also the episode where we learn a lot more about Sophia and Penguin's backstory. But yeah, what'd you think?
Yeah, it was phenomenal. I mean, the first 10 minutes, I was like, or first 5 minutes, like, to be completely honest with you, I was like, I turned it on and I wasn't expecting them to hit me with something like that,
Yeah, I'm with you 100%.
I was in between classes and I was like, oh my gosh, I got time. Like, this is the time I have to watch this week. Like, I'm going to watch it. So I turn it on and I see the election kind of poster on the floor or on the street. And I'm just kind of like, oh, like, yeah, that's like the mayor Gotham. Yes. Mayor, yeah. And then,
it's what, Mayor Real. Now she's the mayor elect.
And then it starts flooding and I'm like, man, I'm a little slow today. I was not prepared for all of that.
Yeah.
I don't know what I mean. I want to know what your thoughts were. Give me.
I really liked the opening. I think the opening was actually really impactful too, because it did point at something that I think is very important when it comes to not just the Batman, but like Batman overall. It's who you fall into after tragedy, where it's very similar to Bruce Wayne himself. Vic lost both his parents and then fell into that world that Oz fell into. Whereas Bruce Wayne chose the other direction. So it is about choice. And I think that that's a big part of why they did this on this show. The other thing I think is really important is I think it was in the Nolan Batmans that we just watched. It's something I've watched so much Batman in my life. It just all runs together. But there was like a thing that was talked about where basically the criminals think that they're doing this for the greater good. They're doing it for the underdog. They're doing it for the little guys. Yet it was always them who were most impacted by what they did. And I think that's very apparent here, where the Riddler was like, I'm fighting for the little guy. I'm fighting for the underdog, the one who gets looked over constantly. And who was impacted most? Whose lives are ruined the most? Those people, the people he thought he was representing. And I think that's such an important thing for like this show. And I think to really talk about. I just thought it was so good. It was just so good.
Yeah. I mean, like, Gotham is like so alive. Like,
yes. Oh yeah.
I could put my hand on my TV screen and I could feel a heartbeat. Like it's like, I think from the Batman, I mean, as soon as that happened, I wasn't thinking, oh man, I wonder how like the people of Gotham were affected by this. But I think in the show, it does a great job. And then like the whole Vic storyline in this episode, like this whole journey of like this conflict that he has. He's going back and forth. Like, what does he want? Who does he want to be? Who should he be? What does dad want? What would his family want? You know?
Mm-hmm. I love that.
Literally,
we'll talk about that in a minute here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
just
trying to think what happened right after that.
The
opening was amazing.
Yeah. So then it went back, I'd say to real time, and we had Oz and Sophia go to the new drug facility where they're making the new drugs, and we saw like the mushrooms that they're dealing with and how it's tied to her time at Arkham. And it's kind of that bliss they're talking about, the drug bliss. And that was kind of the next stage where it's set up what Oz is now dealing with. And it kind of carried on. And we got, I guess, the conversation between Vic and I think the girlfriend's name was Eve. I don't super remember. I kind of feel bad that I don't remember. Okay. But anyway, the interaction with his girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, whoever she is, really, where she's saying we should go. Like, I'm getting out of here tonight. Like, you should come with me. Mm-hmm. And then that kind of lingering question over the head of Vic of what he's going to do. We also got the dinner scene right after that, where they go to lunch or dinner, and they make the choice to have Oz stand up for Vic in that moment. And they talk about his father, which I think was really strong. And then it kind of just carries on. Sophia and Oz talk to Johnny Vitti, where they get the wife to get him cornered in a room, and then they talk to Johnny Vitti. He makes the call so they can deal with the other gang, and then we get what I would say was probably the highlight of the episode. Maybe not. I don't know. It was so good though. Sophia's conversation with Mr. Zhao at like the head of where she's trying to convince him to join on. We want to be distributors, and she talks about like people forgetting. You just want people to forget. They deal with all this stuff all the time. People want to take this to forget. I thought that was so good about the trust. I thought that was so good. Like Sophia Falcone she's so good in the show. She's so good.
I'm like hoping there's a chance that she somehow finds her way to like make it out.
I don't think so.
Show. I don't think she is, but I'm just like hoping somehow deep down, like, because I think it would continue just to prove that like you can stab anybody in the back, but like you never know when. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, in Gotham, people keep coming back.
Like, I don't know. So she's been fantastic. She's been honestly like an unexpected highlight of this show, because originally I was just like Colin Farrell. Like, I mean, Vic has been fantastic. Sophia's been fantastic. Honestly, one of the parts I really liked was like there were several moments where like Vic, he had significant pressure. So like the scene where Oz is on the phone in his room and she's like, "Oh, like, how'd you meet Oz?" And he's like, "Oh, I fixed his car for him." And she was like, "Oh, so you're a mechanic?" And he's like, yeah." You're like, "Yeah, I'm a mechanic." But like, I feel like there was just so much like tension in that conversation.
Oh yeah. Also, hang on.
And she's like,
breaking news. Breaking news. Invincible season 3 trailer just got leaked. It is coming February 6th. That is all.
Fantastic.
All right, back to what you're saying.
No, you're good.
Just want to be the first podcast to break that live. So
there was like the scene where he was kind of being cornered by her, and she was like, "What do you do? How'd you guys meet?" And you can kind of tell he's clearly kind of like stumbling his way through it. And she's like, "Oh, can you light this for me?" And she's like, "Oh, you're a mechanic, but you don't know how to use a lighter."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, it's broken." And then she just like casually just like, lights it. And then the scene where he's in the car, where he's in Oz's car with the drugs, cop pulls him over, and you're kind of like, what's going to happen with him? And then he takes his money, and it's kind of all that happens. But I think there's like, even just the cops, it's just so the cops are still super corrupt. It's just like a small addition, but so I loved it.
I think that the final two things we need to talk about from this episode, number one was the conversation in the bathroom, and then was the ending. So the conversation in the bathroom I thought was really strong, with Oz talking to Vic. And I think it was honestly like a sympathetic moment for Oz, where he's like, after everything, yes, I was obviously scary to you the first night we met, but after everything I've done for you, like, you think I would just like treat you like that. Like, no, I respect you more than that. And I think that that was, a good moment for Oz, where he like clearly does care about Vic and thinks can do better. And also he gave us his opinion on the world, where he was basically just like, look, I think the world, chews you up and spits you out. So you might as well punch you back in the face, because what are you gonna do? Punch in every single day just to get beaten up like your dad did? Like, you're better than that. You can do more than that. And I thought that was just a really interesting moment to learn about his opinion of the world. And I think it's a strong choice. So
no, I think they perfectly phrased the whole bathroom scene. I mean, and then basically it's just like the entire time they're having that conversation, like you're saying, like the world spits you out, you gotta fight back. Like, I just thought of like, he's talking to his dad, he's like, hey, you can get more money for this stuff, and his dad's like, that's not what that's about. So I think it is interesting, because like, obviously from the dad's point of view, he's like, money isn't everything. He's cooking, he's spending time with his family. Like, clearly that's what his focus is on. It's not necessarily like a money thing for him. Like, obviously he puts in the work, but like, I feel like from his dad's viewpoint, it's like, do your good, be a good person, and like raise an honest family.
Yeah.
As where you just see Vic completely go down this road where, he wants more for his dad, which I feel like ultimately turns in like him wanting more for himself.
And I think it's just a mindset thing where Penguin, also feels that way, where he's like, he thinks he's doing this work for his mom. He's putting the work in so that she can, it's the two family ideas, where I think that Oz believes setting his mom up for a better life is more important than like the love they share, versus Vic, whose father cared a lot more about the love they shared versus the material wealth.
Sure.
And I think that is just a different mindset that the two have, that I think is just an interesting way to kind of look at it. Let's talk about the ending. So the ending, Sophia kind of finally trusts him. Like, she finally like is in, I guess. Also, while this is happening, Vic is obviously going to maybe go to the bus stop and see if he wants to leave. And then isn't the Maronis? Yeah, the Maronis show up, and they're not too happy with Oz. And it cuts away, so we don't really know what happens. But by the time Vic shows back up and makes the choice to stay, he makes the choice to stay with Oz. He then makes an even bigger choice, and I think kills a guy. He definitely killed that guy, I feel like, to save Oz. Yeah. And then Oz gets in the car, and he's like, what about Sophia? And he's like, leave her. Right when he got her trust back, he says, leave her. So I think Sophia learned a lot while they were there from the Maronis, or he just made a very big error. But we'll have to see, I guess, tonight, hopefully. But what a choice by Oz in that moment to leave her.
Yeah.
Great cliffhanger.
It was amazing. Like the scene where he's stopped in the car, he's watching everything unfold, and he's like, gotta make like, there was I feel like there was like barely any hesitation. He's just like, I'm in. And he just like, he goes for it.
Yeah.
I think it's just crazy. So I'm interested to see how his character kind of, and I think it'll be interesting to kind of like follow along with like the stutter to see if like, as his character kind of like develops, like if that's something that like, he becomes more like confident in his like,
I think he will.
Position here, it might be something that kind of fades away, or like obviously I understand like it's a condition, but like I feel like for the purpose of the show, I feel like it could be used as something to show like whether his character is a little bit weaker or stronger in certain moments.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be kind of interesting.
So yeah, we'll have to wait and see in about 36 minutes what happens next. I'm very excited about that though, which we'll talk about next week. That's all now to our review, which is Saturday Night. Saturday Night, written and directed by Jason Reitman, probably best known now for Juno, Ghostbusters Afterlife. Now this, I would make the argument, is about here, I'll read the synopsis. At 11:30 p.m. on October 11th, 1975, a ferocious troupe of young comedians, writers changed television forever. This is the story of what happened behind the scenes in the 90 minutes leading up to the first broadcasting of Saturday Night Live. Let me tell you, I thought this rocked. I don't think it's great. I just thought it rocked.
Sure.
So the big difference. I give this 3.5 stars on Letterboxd. The amount of energy, like chaos, the amount of stuff behind the scenes that happened is insane. That SNL even made it to air. I guess since you didn't see it, and for those who didn't, there was a big dispute, which I didn't know really any of this because obviously it's 1975 and I was negative 30. But there was a big dispute between Johnny Carson and the Tonight Show and his contract, I guess. And so Johnny Carson wanted, I guess, all this money, and they were like, well, we can just play reruns and we get the same amount of viewership. And so to spite Johnny Carson, they were like, let's just do the opposite of Johnny Carson, which was giving a show to a bunch of nobodies who had never proven themselves on television before, which is where Saturday Night Live comes from. And like, they wanted it to fail. It was designed for SNL to fail so that they could go back to Johnny Carson and be like, look, we'll just keep throwing stuff to the wall because we don't care anymore about the price. Either you sign or we'll just keep throwing stuff at the wall. And so then they kind of figured that out in this movie, like at least Gabriel Abel, who plays Lorne Michaels, who's like the main producer behind SNL. And it's very interesting to see like how they didn't realize it earlier. And I think that's, a testament to them, but also you're so confident in what you're doing that you just don't really notice it. I thought that was a cool kind of framing device and also something I just didn't know. I will say it was like watching the first SNL where you see, Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase, all these people who kind of came up through SNL and became stars. You have the same feeling watching this movie because you see people like Gabriel Abel, Rachel Sennett, Cooper Hoffman, Dylan O'Brien, Corey Michael Smith, Nicholas Braun, and you're like, this is the next generation. Like, this is the people who will define movies for the years to come. I thought that was a really cool kind of parallel between the two. Sure. I will say, early SNL, maybe not my humor. They did like a couple of the skits from it, the scenes, and I was just like, it's like funny, but I'm not like laughing at it the way they were. And it is amazing that it even exists to this point. I will also say it's amazing how it's evolved. Because SNL, when it first came out in 1975, was counterculture, was saying all the things you never say on television, was doing all the things you never do on television. And now it's kind of the opposite, where SNL is like the mainstream, like does the safe jokes, doesn't really push the boundaries, where it's now the internet is the counterculture. Like people on like comedians on TikTok, like comedians, on YouTube doing skits. They are now the counterculture. And I think they've tried to bring in those people. Like you see, it used to be Andy Samberg and like the Digital Shorts guys. And now even they have like the Lonely Island. Oh, that was Lonely Island. Now they have the other guys. Now I'm trying to remember their names and I can't. What is the new SNL guys?
I'm not sure.
Please don't destroy. That's like their new guys they brought in who are like the new Andy Samberg guys. So they're trying, but like it is so funny to see a show that went from counterculture to the opposite to now like is the culture and does so safe. I just think it's very funny to see that evolution. They kind of became what they were making fun of for so long. J.K. Simmons plays a guy named Milton Berle, who I didn't know who Milton Berle was, but he was the king of TV. So Milton Berle at one point they called him Mr. Television. And at one point he had like 97% of people who could watch TV watching his show, like just insane numbers.
Yeah.
And he does something in this movie where he's talking to Chevy Chase and he unzips his pants as like a here I am kind of move. And I was like, that's crazy. that's a crazy choice. Yeah. So I Googled it. This guy would do that all the time. That's what he would like in meetings and stuff. He would just do that. Like that was like his move, which is just insane. I was blown away by that. I was like, that is an insane thing to do.
See, I feel like those are like the small details though, like something that's like
Well, that's the thing too. It's like I think that if you're a big SNL fan, you saw stuff in the background. You saw like little things that they were teasing and talking about. That you're like, oh, that's where that skit or that's where that came from. People I didn't even know were really connected. Like Billy Crystal, like he got cut from the first episode. Um, like he found one of his writers in a bar. It's like stuff like that where it's just like, how do these people fall into place to perfectly make SNL work? Was just so fascinating. I do my two big issues with it. I think number one, I think it's I don't know. I just feel like it was a little too simple at points. I think they could have went a little bit deeper in other points. And my other issue was the way they treated Jim Henson on this.
Mm.
I did Google it to find out. People on SNL hated Jim Henson. Not because they hated the dude. They just hated like we have to share the show with Muppets. Like, are you serious? But they just made Jim Henson kind of seem like a goofy, oh shucks kind of guy. And I was like, I don't know. I think Henson probably would be a little bit better than that. But it was just, I think it was really, really solid. It was just a solid 3.5-star movie, mid-70s. Like I'm pretty impressed with it. I like movies like this where it's like behind the scenes stuff. And I really recommend seeing Saturday Night. I think it's good. If you're a fan at all of SNL, I think it's good to see. It's number 13 on the year for me right now. So
really,
yeah, it beat out The Wild Robot to be 13.
Okay. I mean, as soon as this trailer came out, I was interested in this movie, and that's why I was kind of upset I wasn't able to see it this weekend. But like,
yeah,
I mean, everything you said, I mean, sounds like these actors, and I think it's neat how you have like J.K. Simmons and Willem Dafoe in like kind of like big positions, because like I think it's interesting because like those are kind of the ones in power, and then you have like these very young actors, like how you're saying, like these are kind of like the next generation, but like J.K. Simmons and like Willem Dafoe, like they're still very much involved, but they're at the top. Like those are guys that like have had fantastic roles and had amazing careers.
And they're here just to supporting roles. Like they're here just to support the younger cast.
Yeah. I'm going to try and see this literally as soon as possible. I think
you really should.
I mean, I'm going to try and see it at least by Thursday. Because I don't want to get kind of like too behind with new releases, but as soon as this trailer came out, I mean, I was locked in.
Oh yeah, and it's like cool to see people I haven't like. I think the big shout out to Corey Michael Smith, who's Chevy Chase in this. I haven't seen him in a minute. Like last time I saw him, he was on Gotham as the Riddler. I just feel like I haven't seen him in a while.
Really, that's him.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, great to see him. And I thought he killed it as Chevy Chase, who is an all-time scumbag, like all time.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, man, it kind of just rocked from that standpoint to be like, I think they just did so good. I wish they dove a little more into at the end of the day, so the Lorne Michaels movie. Like, how did Lorne Michaels do it? I think they spent a lot of time with Chevy Chase, a lot of time with Dan Aykroyd, a lot of time with Garrett Morris. I wish we spent a little more time with the women of SNL. I really feel like we only got like a few minutes of Gilda Radner. Like we got a lot of John Belushi. I don't know. I just wish we spent a little more time with the women of SNL. I really feel like we didn't get a lot with them.
Yeah.
Oh, also Andrew Barth Feldman plays the cousin of Lorne Michaels, and is a very unsung hero that makes this movie work. So he was great in it.
No, I mean, I feel like I was just from the casting alone. I think it's like Dylan O'Brien. I think he's been like, I mean, he had his own TV show, and then obviously like The Maze Runner was like massive for.
Yeah, but he's even been a little quiet for the last few years. He's been in some, like I thought he was in Not Okay, which was I think 2 years ago, which is a Zoe Deutsch movie. I thought he was great in that. He was like an influencer in that who was an all-time just the worst dude. But yeah, and then it was just, I don't know, I feel like he needs some more stuff, and he was great in this. I think it really does help if you know about these people too going into it. Like if you didn't know a lot, you would be very lost, I feel.
Gotcha.
Like it's very different than other biopics where I feel like you have to know a little bit about him. But like knowing stuff where he was Dan Aykroyd, I was like, that is exactly Dan Aykroyd that I know from stories and like reading about him and stuff. Like I thought that was like, that is exactly Dan Aykroyd. So just thought that was it's good stuff.
No, it's awesome. hopefully I can give my opinion on it. Maybe Chuck can watch it too as well if he's got some.
I wanted him to go see Piece by Piece.
Yeah, which I've heard is
I've heard it's good. I've heard it's good.
So many things in theaters, man. Like so many movies,
which is great. Superman, Christopher Reeve. If you have time to see that, highly recommend. I thought it was incredible. Yeah. I learned I had so little knowledge. I knew he had the foundation. I knew obviously what happened to him. I just didn't know all of the other stuff. I didn't know really about his family life at all. His son, so he has like 2 kids from the first marriage and then the second kid from the second marriage. The child from the second marriage is going to be in the new Superman movie as like a reporter. I think he's a reporter in real life, actually. Let me see if I Google Will Reeve. Will Reeve is... No, I don't think he's a reporter. I don't know. He's just I know he runs the foundation. Oh, yeah, he is. ABC correspondent. Nice. Okay, I was right. He's also on the foundation for the Reeve Foundation. He's going to be in the new Superman, and I saw like that behind the scenes thing.
That's awesome.
And I thought it was cool.
No, it's like a neat way to pay homage to someone that's helped build up the characters. So I think a lot of people are gonna appreciate that.
I sure hope so. And like it just feels like
I keep going, sorry.
No, it just feels like that movie has a lot of the spirit that I'm just like I think is very important for Superman. Because Christopher Reeve talked about Superman a lot in this. And like what it means to people and the impact of it. And I was like, that is exactly, I think, the mindset you have to go into a Superman movie with. And so I hope that they do for next summer because it'd be really great.
I mean, I wanted to see that when that came out. I think like I literally just need to make a list, and it is a busy week, but hopefully
you should find a one random like a Sunday we record early and you just go for the rest of the day or something.
Yeah, because I mean, holy cow. I think everything in theaters right now just looks like something that I'd want to see. Dude, Deadpool and Wolverine is still in theaters here at IU. Is it still in theaters where you're at?
Yeah, at the AMC by me it is.
That is crazy. I mean, you got...
Well,
I know you're not a big fan. I know you're not a big fan, but I even still want to go see Beetlejuice again. I'm just throwing that, but I have no time to do that.
Let me tell you though, before Superman, there was the trailer for the new Lord of the Rings again. Kind of looked awesome. Really? I'm glad Chuck's not here to hear that. But it kind of looked awesome. I'm not gonna lie, it looked pretty sweet. So I'm actually kind of pumped for that. I'm thinking of doing a Lord of the Rings rewatch here in November. So maybe we'll do that for the pod. But we have no new release this week because I don't think we're gonna do Smile 2. I feel like we probably won't do that. So I was wondering, should we pick a movie to do for the pod? And maybe we'll do an old one that we'll talk about again. And since Charles isn't here, he doesn't get a choice. So it's just you and I. He has to do what we want.
I know I think We Live in Time will be at the AMC Theater on
I just don't think it's by me.
Okay, no, I'm not saying we have to do that, but I was just saying.
No, but I could do it.
I can.
No, because I could go. Hang on, I could.
Because
it's not too far.
It's not 100% confirmed that it's at the AMC Bloomington, but like when I go on the website for the movie, it pulls up that it will be playing at the AMC Bloomington. So.
Yeah, but when?
Thursday. It said, I think it said this upcoming Thursday, but like it's not on the AMC app. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Oh, gotcha.
Like if I put in my area, it says that it's showing there, but I can't buy my ticket yet. You know.
Oh, that's
weird. You know how the AMC Bloomington's weird. Like it doesn't release what their show times are for the rest of the week until like Tuesday or Wednesday morning. But either way, I think
if we could do that, we'll do that as well. But I think we should pick. Let's pick something. Let's pick something spooky for Halloween. Come on, let's pick a spooky movie.
So I haven't seen an abundance of horror movies. I'd be open for Halloween. I'd be open for quite literally anything that you think is a good horror movie that I may have not seen.
I'll do Halloween.
Let's do Halloween.
Halloween next week. Dude, I love Halloween. I'm so excited to talk about that. All right. We'll do Halloween next week. And then the following week, we have Venom. Not Let There Be Carnage. That was the last one. Venom, The Last Dance.
Venom. Let
Venom.
there be lots of Venoms. Too
Let
many
there be
Venoms.
The third one. Oh. Then the following week, we kind of have some sneaky good ones, I think. That's going to be hype. We got Juror number 2.
Oh, wow.
And then also Here, which is the Tom Hanks, Robin Wright, Robert Zemeckis movie that's filmed from the same spot.
Yes.
And then are we going to do November 8th? Are we going to do Heretic, you think? Or should we do another, we could do November 8th. We can start planning it now, so we have time to finish it. November 8th, Lord of the Rings. We do all 3. We do a Lord of the Rings episode.
I'm in.
Yeah?
I'm in.
I think so. Okay.
Oh,
Chuck's going to love this. Chuck's going to love it. All right. So this week, Halloween. Next week, we're doing Venom. It's our second Marvel movie. First Spider-Man one on the pod. All right. Awesome. You got anything else?
No. I mean, I think I'm gonna
Penguin,
try and see. I might see
20
Smile too. I know some friends might want to go see that. So if I have time this week,
if you do, let
I
us
might
know.
check it out as well. But
yeah,
we'll see.
Enjoy Penguin in about 19 minutes. Talk about it next week. I will be sure to tell you all about Agatha all along. And yeah, that's all we got. Charles back next week, but for Jack, I'm Hunter. Enjoy your week and get excited for summer 2026. It's gonna be great. Can't wait. All right. Peace.